studied the history of Coney Island development for several decades. I wrote 2 books on this subject, and I've seen dozens of master plans for Coney Island since my family moved here in 1956. Most were colossal failures. I've experienced the best and the worst that Coney Island has to offer. I want to make it clear that the opposition to this rezoning plan does not mean that I don't want improvement and growth and jobs for Coney Island. Opposing this plan does not mean that I want Coney Island to be stuck in the past. The C7 amusement zone can be saved. When the strategic plan was first unveiled, it seemed promising and I supported it. It seemed to be a fair compromise that offered a balanced mix of amusements, retail, and residential. That plan has been changed so radically that I'm forced to oppose it on every level. I think it was a betrayal of trust.
Neighbors, however, say it'll also bring trouble. This public meeting on the casino is where all opinions came head-to-head.
We're talking about thousands of jobs from start to finish.
A casino is not going to benefit this neighborhood. And I said it earlier as well. I would like someone to show me a casino that was built in a neighborhood with a community like this and is flourishing. You're not going to find it.
If you happen to be one of my subscribers on Odyssey and BitChute, you might have seen one of my the Rabbit Rabbit specials, and one of them was concerning about Coney Island. Some of the stuff that they've been going on there, and this was some stuff from many years ago, before the change in the theme parks. And there's been a lot. I tell you, I've grown up with Coney Island for many years, and seen many changes to the park itself. And I'll tell you something. There have been times where I thought we were going to lose the original Coney Island, and we're almost there. We're almost there because a lot of the things that have been going on, and it always comes up to the same people that are trying to do this. And if you don't realize what Coney Island is, if you're out of the country, something like Coney Island happens to be an amusement park that's been around for many decades. Some great rides. It's always been there. It is, if you ever watch the Nathan's hot dog eating contest on July 4th, that is live from Coney Island, obviously, at the famous Nathan's. If you have never had a Nathan's hot dog and you plan to come if you're outside the U.S. and you come into the U.S., do check out Nathan's at Coney Island. Great hot dog, great food. The amusement parks are decent on there. Some of the rides are a little bit older. You know, you got the Wonder Wheel and some of the other rides. You got some of the newer parks that are a little bit more expensive. Oh yeah, I forgot. And there's an aquarium too on top of that. But for many years now, my late friend Richard Concepcion, he used to fight with a lot of activists out there that they wanted to change Coney Island into basically get rid of the rides, really, and replace them with shopping centers, malls, hotels, and casinos. And that fight has been going on for quite some time now. Now we're at it once again because there's a new proposal, because there is a push to bring casinos to New York City. One happens to be the Times Square area, and the other is in Coney Island. But there is a pushback, and like I said, you know, my late friend Rich Concepcion used to be part of this group, basically that did not want this to happen. They didn't want to take away the look of Coney Island. Which, you know, like I said, it's been, if you go through the history of Coney Island for many years, I mean, some of it is still there. The rest of it has, in other words, been eroded away, destroyed, changed. But the heart of it is still there. The Mermaid Parade, the freak shows. Like I said, there are some of the older rides that are still running there to this day. I think the Spookorama is still there, the Wonder Wheel, and a couple other, like I said, a couple other rides that are still available there. Now, out of the Gothamist, there was this article, and I'm going to read into this on there. Coney Island community confronts casino proposal. A proposal to build Coney Island casinos is on the books, but residents there are not playing games. Community leaders and activists sounded off Monday night over a bid to construct a casino in their neighborhood. Some expressed concern that the venue will bring more traffic and crime to the neighborhood, and skepticism about promising economic benefits, while others argued it will be a boon for success. The casino is a travesty. It will destroy the community and will drain the community of its resources that people barely have, Kashim Brown told Gothamist. You want to build a casino in a community that's already neglected by the city and state as a whole, and what's going to happen further is going to drain the people of their means. People protested outside the community meeting at a local YMCA where they were asked to submit their opinions on the proposal of the United Front Against Displacement hosted a rally outside. I don't know how I feel yet, said Brooklyn Borough President Antonio Reynoso, who organized 2 such meetings on Monday for locals to be heard. I want to be honest. Ultimately, what I want for Coney Island is to be taken care of. That's what I care about more than anything. And whatever the decision the state wants to make here, I want the community involved. That's what I'm doing here. Thor Equities, the organizers behind the casino bid, unveiled the project's name last week, as well as the first renderings of the venue, dubbed the Coney Island Casino, would fit seamlessly into the neighborhood and will jumpstart the economic revival of the area, organizers said. The first renderings show what is possible by selecting Coney Island, an iconic community that has been beloved destination for generations of New Yorkers and people worldwide. As a casino and entertainment venue project, spokesman Eric Koch, the project's revitalization power will help drive Coney Island's comeback for the community that has lagged behind Brooklyn and the rest of New York City in several areas, including high poverty rates, unemployment rate, and higher rates of New Yorkers without health insurance. Rather than the traditional public forum format that many such meetings use, Reynoso had community members write their thoughts out on stickums to a corresponding poster on the side of the rooms. Organizers of the event said they will review the comments for forthcoming report on the community reaction proposal. Really, that's a waste. You're wasting people's time, Brown said. They came out to speak. Many wrote down their concerns on how the casino culture might have an effect on the area. They said already struggles with crime, but some residents, like Julia Daly, said they would believe in the economic revitalization potential of the project, which would provide year-round entertainment, unlike many area seasonal attractions. We're considered the world's greatest entertainment district, Daniel said. How can it be great without a casino? First and foremost, though, it's going to bring jobs to the neighborhood, a lot of jobs. It will be months before the state ultimately decides on the proposal. I'm not for this. I really, honestly, I like when the neighborhood gets revitalized and stuff like that. This casino is not going to do that. It is going to be an issue. If you're not familiar with the surrounding area of Coney Island, it's high crime, high drugs, especially with what's been going on lately with the cashless bails. Also, you have the situation where even though marijuana is legalized in the state, you have illegal dealers on the streets as far as smoke shops. They're selling untaxed cigarettes. They're selling illegal marijuana. Who knows what it's laced with. They're selling edibles, which there are people, and I'll tell you straight, and this has been happening here recently, and we're going to discuss that on another video. We have people ODing in New York and in other places, especially in New York City. We have kids who are buying edibles and they're ending up in the hospital. This is the things that are going on right now that, it's unbelievable sometimes. It's really, truly unbelievable. You have to fix the neighborhood. If you want to bring a casino, okay, but the neighborhood needs to be fixed first. You say, well, we need the money to fix it in a casino. No, casino's not going to bring it in. Okay? There are many problems that happen with casinos. You will look at Vegas. Look at Vegas. Is Vegas turning a profit on their casinos? You see how crap. There are plenty of YouTuber videos out there on how bad some of the hotels are in Vegas right now. And they used to be really, really good hotels. It's not like it used to be. You're bringing situations into neighborhoods that, you need to build the neighborhood back up again. I don't even know. I know that they did a lot of work on the subways. Have they completed the complete transformation of that Coney Island station? I know there's been a lot of changes on there, the trains that run into that station. And the exteriors, have they changed the track lines and stuff like that? Have they completed that? I don't think so. I really don't think so. And then, Coney Island stretches out pretty far out. I mean, it goes all the way to Sheepshead Bay and back and into the other direction. And, you go over toward the projects and all that, and you hear stories. You hear the crime stories. You hear the violence and all that. You go to open a casino and you still got the violence. You haven't cleaned out what's on it. And then the infrastructure alone. The roads are not as great as it is. Also, what are you going to deal with? How are you going to deal with the weather? How are you going to deal with the weather? Because big snowstorm, are you going to have enough sanitations to clear up that part of town? I mean, I live in one of the boroughs, and it takes a day for them just to get to me. A day. Do you think they're going to rush into Coney Island on that? No, they're not. They're going to say they're going to let the casino clear out their front, but the surrounding area, is still going to be jacked up. People don't think, and think about it is, I've been hearing this bullshit for, God, when I got out of high school. There used to be I forgot the name of the TV show, but there used to be a TV show. It was the noon show on Channel 5, and and this is when I was in trade school, and we got to see the show live. And one of the guests was told, and it was from back years ago, what they wanted to do with Coney Island originally, and one of the proposals was to put a casino there as well, to have the amusement park and the casino. And it never came forward. It never, because the money, you look at the money and you say, we'll put it in there. It wasn't, the money just wasn't going to fix the neighborhood. It wasn't. It would have been a waste of money, and it still is. I still believe it is a waste of money. This casino will be, open up. It'll be nice for the first couple of years, and then it'll go dead. Just like some of the casinos in Atlantic City and in Vegas. Look at Atlantic City. That's the other big example. Look at Atlantic City. How many casinos have shut down in Atlantic City? And look at the surrounding area. Not much has changed of the surrounding area of Atlantic City. It still has the crime, still has the issues on there. And even though the casino has funneled, all the casinos and the amusement park has funneled money back into the city, it still hasn't really changed Atlantic City. It's still the same. So it goes to show you that casino dollars does not help and hasn't. What you need to do, like I said, take those tax dollars, take those federal dollars, put it into the infrastructure. Rebuild the streets, rebuild the housing, get the help, as far as take care of the crime, take care of the drug addicts, the homeless, take care of all these situations. Then maybe we might be able to look at revitalizing Coney Island and building it to where it used to be many decades ago. So tell me in the comments below your thoughts, how you're feeling about this. Are you familiar with this storyline? Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, share, and we'll discuss more on another edition of Madman with the Show, so stay tuned.